Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on Colonel Asakura from the Universal Century.
Right. A name maybe not everyone knows, but definitely a key background player in the One-Year War.
Exactly. Not a pilot, not on the front lines, but his actions were, well, pretty impactful.
For sure. Our sources here are mostly character profiles, some in-universe historical bits.
And our goal really is to unpack Asakura, understand his role, what he did, and maybe what it tells us about Zeon, the internal politics, the Zabi's.
And the whole ethical side of weapons development back then, it gets pretty dark.
Okay, so Colonel Asakura, Principality of Zeon. What else do we know about his profile?
Well, rank of colonel, obviously. Serving under the Zabi family, but more of a technical officer, maybe an advisor.
And aligned with a specific faction.
Seems strongly connected to Girin Zabi's faction. And that, definitely influenced his actions later on.
Right. And he actually survived the war.
He did. Made it out and escaped to Axis, the Zeon remnants. That's a whole other story, maybe.
We should also mention he pops up in quite a bit of Gundam media.
Yeah, the original TV show, some manga like the Origin 0083 Rebellion, even an audio drama. He sticks around in the narrative.
So his wartime role.
Yeah.
It feels like he became more important later in the war.
Definitely. Especially after the big Zeon defeats at Odessa and Solomon.
Those were major setbacks.
Huge. So Zeon's focus kind of shifted. They needed a technological edge, a game changer, and Asakura was right there.
Involved in weapons development.
Deeply involved. And this is where it gets unpleasant. The GG gas.
Used in the gassing of Side 2.
Yeah.
Operation British, Island Ifish. Infamous stuff.
Exactly. But the really disturbing part, the unit that deployed it, Sima Garahouse unit,
Yeah.
they were apparently told it was non-lethal, just meant to knock people out.
Wait, seriously? So they were lied to?
That's what the sources suggest.
Yeah.
A deliberate deception, which speaks volumes about Asakura, or at least the command structure under Girin.
And Simo served custody of Zabi, right? Girin's rival.
Precisely. So you see the internal politics playing out there, too. Using your own forces, misleading them.
It's like the bureaucracy of evil, almost. Treating genocide like a technical problem, manipulating your own side.
It's a chilling perspective.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there. He also supervised the Solar Ray project.
Girin super weapon.
Yeah, under Girin's direct orders.
Yeah.
And built from the sealed colony of Mahal.
Mahal. Wasn't that Sima's homeland?
It was. The inhabitants were forcibly deported so the colony could be converted into this massive weapon.
So Sima's unit is lied to about the gas, and their home colony is destroyed to build a weapon for the faction that likely ordered the deception.
The irony is incredibly bleak. It just shows the desperation, the ethical lines being crossed, Zeon going for broke with a wonder weapon.
And Asakura's technical know-how was essential to make it happen.
Absolutely. He enabled Girin's most extreme plans, which leads us to the end of the war.
The firing of the solar ray,
Girin gives the order, target, Jel Dolba.
where Digwin Zabi, Zeon's leader, was meeting General Revel from the Federation for peace talks.
Yes. Asakura fires the weapon, kills Degwin, kills Revel, cripples the Federation fleet, and destroys any chance of a negotiated peace.
Patricide. And it backfired, didn't it?
Massively. The solar ray system overloaded after that
Huh.
one shot. Zeon lost its ultimate weapon right before the final battle at Abowaqua.
Wow. So Asakura was the literal trigger man for that whole
Yeah, that's
disaster.
the instrument, yeah. Then comes Abowaqua. Chaos ensues. Girin gets assassinated.
And Asakura.
He reports the solar ray's status, waits for orders that never come, and realizes it's over.
So he runs.
He flees Abowaqua. Sima Garahao actually pursues him, seeking revenge for everything the gas Mahal.
Does she catch him?
No. Asakura gets away. His priority was clearly self-preservation, not duty or anything else.
And then the final twist. The blame game.
Right. He somehow manages to shift the blame for the GG gas attacks entirely onto Sima and her unit.
Painting them as rogue elements.
Exactly. Saying they tarnished the noble name of Zeon, which was devastating for Sima, because it meant she and her fleet were completely ostracized, the Federation hunted them, and even the Zeon remnants at Axis, they refused them refuge.
But Asakura, he got refuge at Axis.
He did. Despite his role in the gas attacks, the solar ray, his ties to Girin, Axis took him in, while Sima, who was arguably a victim of his schemes, was left out in the cold.
That says a lot about Axis leadership, doesn't it? Pragmatic, maybe? Morally flexible?
Very much so. It's a really stark contrast.
So, wrapping this up, Asakura is, well, a chilling figure. Technical skill, political maneuvering, zero ethical compass. leading to absolute horror.
And he gets away with it, evades justice, rewrites the narrative to blame someone else. It really makes you think about accountability in war.
Yeah, and those internal power struggles,
Yeah.
even within a side like Zeon, it wasn't monolithic.
Not at all. So maybe the thought to leave listeners with is, what does Asakura tell us about the hidden gears of war? The people behind the lines pulling levers?
And are there other figures, maybe even real-world ones, who fit that kind of profile? What does that mean for how we understand conflict? Lots to chew on there.